So if you're a high schooler or maybe you want to send your children to an academy, well, Oklahoma Academy has an aviation track where the high schoolers, they end up learning how to fly a plane. And here we are with Cliff. Cliff is in charge of the aviation track. Thank you for coming here, Cliff.
Right. Thank you for having me too, Sebastian.
Okay, so we want to know all about the aviation track. So why do you have an aviation track there?
So Oklahoma Academy has a unique opportunity to work with young people to train them if they so desire. It's an optional program at our school in various mission tracks that will take them into fields of service for the Lord. So right now we currently have 6 tracks that a student can choose from. And there is digital media, construction, agriculture, auto mechanics, and we have a new music track as well as our aviation track. So all of these are great ways for young people to exercise their passion for a skill set that they feel strongly about or inclined towards, and yet gain special training to take that into mission service. We believe that God gives us skill sets that are fun, things that are great to do, but we also know that we have a responsibility towards the Lord to use those things in His service.
Amen.
So Oklahoma Academy really believes that young people can be a viable force in the world for the Lord at the end of time, using their skills in service. And it's our goal to find a pathway for them directly into missions.
Great, awesome. Well, I know that you're in charge of the aviation track, so how long does it take for them? Is that the last 2 years, the whole 4 years?
Yeah, so, the FAA requires for a student to be 16 years old, a student pilot to be 16 years old before they can solo fly the airplane by themselves. So 16, 17 years old, generally junior and senior year, they're doing, and that's the way we've got it set up at Oklahoma Academy, junior and senior year, 2-year program to get their license. Now, the license is not guaranteed.
Yeah.
That's not a guarantee. They have to work hard. The plane has to be up and the instructor available and all those things. But we'll work as hard as we can to get them their license by the time they graduate.
Okay. Yeah, because you don't provide the license. They train there, but they have to go and take the exam, to get their license. Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So, well, tell us some stories about students that have been taking the track and then going into missions.
Right. Absolutely. So our program started 4 years ago. We've graduated 4 batches of students out of the program. And of course, we've had a number in different tracks, but specifically for the aviation track, we started with 2 girls that graduated out of that, got their license, went down to Peru projects and served in Peru projects. And it was really a neat experience for them. It was just a growing experience for them. And interestingly enough, we're not telling a student you have to be a mission pilot for the rest of your life kind of thing or something, but we want to put enough hook, I'll say a hook for the lack of a better word, into it to retain them for God's service. We don't want to just train them for to take this and go to the airlines or go to the military or something.
Yeah.
Lots of schools
or
for that.
Fun.
Or for fun.
Yeah.
Right. There are a lot of places you can go and do that. We want them to use this in God's service.
Amen.
So we put a requirement in there where they actually, if they're going to take this training, they have to go serve. So these girls went and served, and they came back. We're not against them going to college. We want them to go to college, get advanced degrees and things. But they came back and they said, I don't know if aviation is for me. I think I'm going to go into accounting, actually. Which is great. God needs accountants too. But that gap year that they took really showed them that, aviation is fun. It's a good thing. I went and did it. I served. I went in a project, and I came back, and now I'm going to work for the Lord in accounting, which is great. I'm really glad that they learned that. But they did that before they spent hundreds of thousands of dollars and years of training in aviation to get something that they probably would never use anyway.
Yeah, correct.
And,
correct.
it really helped to focus them. Other students go out with aviation. Sent a young man to the Philippines here a couple of years ago. He wanted to be a corporate pilot or, a commercial airline pilot. And I said, why don't you give your service to the Lord first and watch what he does with it? He wanted to travel internationally, fly large airliners and go overseas and all this stuff. I said, you don't recognize, but me being a professional pilot, from years of experience, I recognize that it's a long track to get to international flying in aviation. So commercial aviation, you're going to be spending years of service before
Yeah.
you can get to the point where you're at the level to fly internationally. He didn't recognize that. He's only 17, 18 years old.
Yeah.
So I said, that'll be years. Give God your service and see where he takes you. He graduated from our program, went to the Philippines. He'd already been down in Peru, flew down in Peru. They're just on a visit with his family. Went down there, visited Peru projects and the girls that were serving down there. And then we assigned him to the Philippines. He flew in the Philippines. He went down to New Guinea, visited our project down there in Irian Jayasai, Papua side of New Guinea. And that island, and he flew down there. Then he did some flying in Australia. He had flown in 5 different countries around the world. By the time he was 19, he was 19 years old, and this dude was already an international pilot and very little experience. But he came back and he said, after that, he said, I don't need to go to college to do this and to do that and to do all these other things I was thinking before. He said, I want to get my commercial license. I'm going to get a nursing degree, and I'm going to go back into service again. And that kind of clarity in God's service is what we're looking for. I pray, Lord, just give these guys one more year in your service before they get lost in the world somewhere. We don't know where they go. They get educated, but then they just wander off into jobs and, debt and different things that keep them from going. To give them one more year. And often that year is a year of clarity. It's big picture exposure to the world, to the needs of people, to the mission of God. And really, that's what we're after, is that God will capture their heart during that 1 year, and they come back transformed, changed, and now they know what they want, and they know better how to go and direct their life for service in the future. So really, that's kind of the mission of the program.
Awesome. Well, friends, you heard it. If you're getting motivated, if you're in high school, you want to go to Oklahoma Academy, links are going to be in the description below. If you're a parent and you're looking this and you want your children to go through this, well, links in the description below. OCI is all about helping ministries thrive. So if you have a ministry or you want to start one, we are here to help you. So subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it with others that may be engaged in aviation. And well, friends, thanks for watching and see you on the next one.